So I've said it plenty of times, guys, that these people do not like us. Women are robbing men and getting arrested for it. It is a disgraceful situation that we're in right now. We talk about the fact that if she wanted to, she would. And this is why soft guy era is so important, because men are realizing and waking up to their own worth. If a woman is not interested in you, then she's only going to take advantage of you. The men that she's interested in, they don't have to pay for anything. The less she likes you, the more she's going to use you. Let's jump into the video.
I wanted to take you on a first date. Would Pizza Hut be okay?
It depends.
What would it depend on?
How much I liked you. It would depend.
So for the guys who you like the least amount, where would you want them to take you?
Like a 5-star steakhouse.
And the guys you like the most, where would you go with them?
I would probably expect less, just because I like them.
But why make the man that you like the least amount invest more up front than the guys who you're more attracted to?
Because he's got to work for it. Since I like him the least amount, he's got to work for it. At least I'm giving him a chance.
You're the prize in a relationship.
Duh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why wouldn't we be?
But the more attractive guy, he's the prize to you.
Not really. They're never a
No. I believe the woman's always a prize. Man should work for a woman.
And what should a woman do for a man?
Oh, that's a good...
Y'all see that? No matter who you are. So basically, Chad and Tyrone, they get it for free, but even Chad and Tyrone will always have less value than they do. No matter who you are as a man, you will always, the way a woman views things is that a man will always have less value than she does. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a woman who is homeless, who's 60 years old, homeless, has multiple children, is extremely in debt. She will always have more value in a woman's eyes than a man who is in the prime of his life, has a six-pack, makes over $1 million a year, has his life together. All of these factors. Just because he is a man, he will always be worth less than a woman. This is the way women view men. Okay, they do not view us as human beings. They view us as being less than them. The man is never the prize, because just by the very virtue of being a woman, you are always on top. And yet, though, still, she will break all the rules for Chad and Tyrone. If you see what I'm saying, a woman will travel very, very far for Chad and Tyrone, because Chad and Tyrone, they say that they're not the prize, but psychologically, they will still go to great lengths for Chad and Tyrone. They will spend money on Chad and Tyrone. So while they will never admit that the man is the prize, Chad and Tyrone are still the prize. They will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, if needs be, on Chad and Tyrone. It's just like MK Fitness says, DA free. DA free. And you might think, well, you just need to find yourself a nice girl, a girl who doesn't look like she's for the streets. Guys, check this out. Because it's the same girl.
Anyone else just work their ass off for like the last 3 or 4 years for like a college degree, and now you have a job that you hate and you still can't afford life and you're still fucking miserable and you can't pay any of your bills and you can't live in the house that you imagine, and you just feel lied to because you thought that if you just went to college and got a degree you'd be able to afford a house and like things that make you happy, but yet you're still barely can afford groceries or clothes or literally anything that makes you happy at all, and you had to spend the whole entire weekend in your bed because you literally don't have any money to go do anything other, like if you buy food you just can't have an entertainment budget. So I'm just wondering if anyone else is dealing with something like this, or if it's just me, because this shit ain't it.
Now, when I said it's the same girl, I don't mean it's the same girl that we just saw saying that, the woman is always the prize. But I'm saying, I have another video for you, and you're going to see it's the same girl in the next video. And what I'm trying to illustrate is, you're like, oh, well, look at these poor girls. They're out here struggling in the streets, right? This girl's in her early 20s. Guys, this is why I say, you are the prize. The man is the prize. They will break the rules for Chad and Tyrone. Because here, on this hand, this woman is crying her eyes out because she can't have all the things that she wants. She can't go and afford a house and all this other stuff. But then at the same time, she's basically still out here in the streets. What do I mean by, oh, well, she's in the streets? Oh, we're going to jump into it. We are going to jump into it.
I really want to know is why a super serious relationship of like multiple year long together, you thought you were going to get married one day, is so much easier to like break up and move on from than those like 3-week, 3-month situationships. I really want to know why. Whatever neurons connect in my little pea brain make it so much harder for me to get over men who blatantly treat me like shit and prove that they do not want me with these like little situationships. I don't know why, but something about them, they just do it for me.
Now, do you see how toxic these people are? That was the same girl who was one moment crying about the fact that she couldn't afford crap, and then on the other hand, she's in another video saying that, why is it that, it's so much easier for her to get over a relationship where she's with a great guy who treats her right, who was going to marry her, and she ends the relationship and she could care less about him, but she's in a situationship with Chad or Tyrone, and he treats her like crap, doesn't even pay her attention, makes her miserable. She was only with him for 3 weeks, and now he's dumped her and moved on to the next one, and she's completely heartbroken, and she doesn't know why, and she can't even understand why she's like this. And then you wonder why men are walking away from Western society, guys. It is such gaslighting. I'm telling you, you have to be strong psychologically. Do not let them break you down, because women will break you down and try to convince you that I'm wrong. No, Angry's wrong. He's just miserable. He's an INCEL. He's never been with a woman. He needs to go. Guys, I see comments like, Angry, what you need to do is you need to go and get laid. Bro, I'm old. I'm old. I'm not as old as some of the older guys, but I'm old enough. I've had experience. They try to mess with you psychologically. They try to gaslight you. Guys, I was a simp. I was a simp for so long. I compromised so many damn times. Trust me. You don't know how many times I blamed myself. You don't know how many times I put women on a pedestal. You don't know how many times I've done it. All right? Learn from my mistakes. So you cannot and guys, I've been gaslit a million times. I was an idiot. I am ashamed of some of the damn things I've said and done and allow women to get away with. Oh, she's like my sister. Guys, get the hell out of here. All right. I regret the only things that I regret in my life, truly regret, are the simping. But because of my simping, I have learned my lesson, and I can share those lessons with you. And I can tell you, these women, they will gaslight you and try to convince you that you are crazy or that it's not all women. Guys, this is how, listen, I think it's actually disrespectful when you say things like not all women, because you're basically trying to say that, like, oh, women, like there are some women who are better than other women. No, they're not. I think that all women are the same. Okay, I think there are some women who are raised culturally different, but all women are women. They have the same nature. Okay, and a lot of men refuse to admit to this. This is the reason why they'll be with a woman for 25 years, and then after 25 years, she's out and his life is screwed up. A guy's with a woman for almost 50 years and then finds out that none of his kids are his. 50 years. I'm not making this stuff up. All right. I'm not making this stuff. It's just like the late great Kevin Samuels used to say, you can't make this stuff up. Guys, it's when the reality is stranger than the fiction. You can't write this stuff. Oh my gosh. Anytime you read stuff and it's just like, nah, this thing is too wild. This story is too wild. Like, where did this come from, bro? He stole that stuff. She stole that stuff off something that happened in reality. And sometimes these people end up getting sued. These authors end up getting sued because they steal someone's life story. All right? Because the reality is stranger than the fiction. As you can see here, on one hand, this woman is crying her eyes out, because women were not designed to live by themselves. They were not designed to survive without a husband. It's a fact. Women were not designed to survive without men, and they think they're boss babes. Check this out. She's here crying her eyes out. You'll have simps out here trying to cry for her, and then she'll tell you right with her own mouth that she was in a good relationship with a man who wanted to marry her. She threw him away like trash. Okay? Could care less about him after years of being with him. And then she's with some Chad or Tyrone, all right, or Little Poncho, all right, farting in the bed, peeing on the pillow, all right, drinking tequila and falling asleep and then snoring up a storm because he has sleep apnea that he won't get treated. But for some reason, it still won't finish him off. And she's in love with this guy, giving him little kisses on his belly, kissing his toes, and he's kicking his little feet up in her bed. All right. She can't afford food, but she can afford to feed Little Poncho. And then when Little Poncho decides that he's good and he's gonna move on to the next one, she starts crying about how she doesn't understand what's going on. Little Poncho was only there for 3 weeks, and when he left, he took her heart with him. Like, what the living hell? What the living hell? And then they wonder why men are walking away and saying, you know what? No, I'm the prize. You're just for the streets. Guys, don't forget I have another channel called Angry where I discuss gaming, anime, nerd stuff, geek stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe to the channel, support my work. And if you're enjoying the content on this channel, you want even more Angry Guy content, head over to the Men Walking Away. I release daily content on Men Walking Away. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel in the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe to the channel, support my work. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Women are robbing men and getting arrested for it. You know, it's a sad reality that we live in. You know, there are stories out there right now that show us that, you know, there are women who are doing these things, and some of them are actually, you know, being prosecuted for it. You know, because the men that they don't like, they take advantage of. If she doesn't like you, then she's going to take advantage of you. Look at this story on CBS. Woman accused of taking over $600,000 in Rolexes from her date and other jewelry. So basically, you know, she waited for this guy to go to sleep, and it's supposedly they're saying that she gave him a drink, like she gave him something that made him sleep, and then she took over $600,000 in his Rolexes and other jewelry from him, and there's like police surveillance. Guys, these women don't like us. These women only want what we have. They're just looking for opportunities to take advantage of us. All right. When they see good men are just an opportunity to build themselves off. You know, there's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. That's why they flock to Chad and Tyrone, because Chad and Tyrone are for the streets, and it's from the streets that they came, and it is to the streets that they shall return. Even the church, guys, the streets lead to the church, and the church leads to the streets. So stay off the church and stay off the streets. Let me know what you guys think regarding everything we discussed here. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.